I'm 13 Disciple, and this is Coach's Corner. Welcome back, guys. We have a replay from Zhymm. He's playing the Panterra 44 out here on Murovanka. All right, first thing I want to make note of here is right in the middle of the screen, these two. What we see here is he doesn't have the top gun. He has the base gun, which has 2 shots, which means we don't have very good standard pen, and we have not very good premium penetration. So we'll take that and keep that in mind as we jump into the team list here. Okay, so in terms of penetration, we're going to struggle with the TS. The AC we might struggle with, the 101 we'll struggle with, and actually the T29 we'll struggle with. And possibly the T34 2GFT, but probably not. Everything else should be a pretty easy penetration. We see there's one Artie, so I'm not too worried about playing out in the open. Otherwise, it's a pretty even mix with a couple of light tanks. Let's take a look at the map and talk about location. Okay, so one of the most important things to do on this map in a light tank, specifically, and I'll get to why you want to make note of that in your medium tank, is right here in the middle is this little ridge that separates the two sides over here at E6 and 7. What you want to do in your light tank from either side is go into the middle of this map and peek this ridge in an active spotting run like this from that side, or like this. You can go the opposite direction too. Alternatively, there are a couple of bushes like right here and actually right on this corner here. You can just nose your tank up into and poke through those bushes, and that will give you a good amount of viewing. So the reason why you want to do that is because your enemies here will be crossing down here, and the ones that are really aggressive and want to take an unsafe route in order to get here as quickly as possible will actually pass through here. And then you'll also have some enemies that want to go this way. What this spotting run here does is it allows your team to see out here. Sometimes they'll get damage on this line here. This line is very rare to get damage on, but this one in the middle will get damage on. But it'll give you a really important number, right? You'll have a number of tanks that go this way and a number that go the other way. So by knowing how many tanks are on each side, when you look at your own team to see their numbers, you can know roughly right away how bad or good the fight is going to go on either side. So that early spotting can be really important, and it can tell you how aggressive you need to be or how patient and defensive you need to be. Okay, so that said, actually I forgot to tell you where I would go. That said, there's like these bushes right here, and you want to load up like right in this area here, and that's going to give you shots on the tanks that are doing this aggressive spotting run here, or the aggressive positioning here, and you can get unreturnable damage in this area as long as you keep these bushes opaque between you and your enemies and from the light tanks. You have to be very careful. Light tanks that are doing this active spotting can spot through here, and you got to make sure that you are tight into this bush line to this side of the bush line, because if you're to the left, you might get spotted by a light tank, and it's pretty dangerous because there's no hard cover here. There's like a little bit of a bump in the ridge. There's no hard cover, so if you get spotted right here, you could get obliterated pretty quick. So it's really important to stay dark when you do this. All right, I think that's enough talking about the macro positioning. Let's take a look on where we're headed here. So if you guys are interested in having your replay featured on Coach's Corner, there's going to be a link in the Discord, a link to the Discord down in the description. Follow that link, head over to the Coach's Corner channel, and post your link in there, and maybe a little explanation of why you're looking for help. I'm usually looking for your average replays. Right, I don't want your super good replays because I may not have a lot to tell you, and I'm not looking for your worst replays because that could be just one mistake and then that's the end of the game. So, looking for your most average games. So I see, Zhymm, you're headed over here to the left. One thing I want to point out before we get too much further, actually, let's zoom in on this so we can see it a little bit better. Your light tanks didn't do their spotting run here, So you're not going to get this early information of who's split where. One thing you want to see is almost your entire team is headed into this wooded area here. The only thing you have left in base are like 3 tanks. It looks like your Indian Panzer is just taking a really long way to get this way. But it seems like a vast majority of your team is playing into the woods. So basically what that tells you is that you can mostly play aggressive, but you don't know how many of their tanks are also over here because your light tanks didn't do the spotting run that I mentioned earlier. See, their 1375 did do that spotting run that I mentioned. It seemed like he took a little too long to get there, though, which is surprising. Feels like he should have gotten there quickly. Your light tanks are pretty deep on the side over there. You're probably safe enough to push up a little bit further. Got a Leo. Yeah, you're not going to have shots beyond this ridge in front of you. Not right now. You see relocating, trying to get into a position where you can get shots. Trying to use bushes where you can. Almost had a shot there. Yeah, he is just not exposing himself, is he? Oh, your T-43 just got lit on fire and he is gonna die? Yeah, he's dead. You guys are down by 2 tanks. It's not looking good right now. Probably need to be pretty aggressive in here. Oh, got a couple of shots there. Should have led that a little bit better. That's alright. That's just a micro play there. Artillery, we know where they are at now. Artillery are like over on this side of the map, which is interesting. Usually artillery will go to the side that has the most tanks because they'll be the most protected. Should have shots on this Leo now. Look down below. Yep, there you go. You got your 2 shots in. Time to back off. Ooh, that Canoni Jagdpanzer 105 is coming in. Ooh, this is probably not good micro positioning here. Let me just point out why. Okay, so what you're trying to do is back off and get safe. I recognize you're trying to use this soft cover here to give you concealment, but you don't need to. You know that artillery can hit you where you're going, right? So what I would have done is backed around this way and hugged this non-destructible building here. By hugging this building, you're not too far from the action, and artillery will have a hard time hitting you, right? So instead of backing this way, back around this way, and then you'll be able to engage this Kanonen once you're reloaded. Going in. Yeah, you should definitely have shots right here. Maybe there's a destructible pillar or something right in front of you. Probably what it is. Yep, there you are. See, and that's something I want to point out real quick. That even though you backed up to maybe use this as concealment, there's so much brush right here that you didn't need to. You could have stayed right here, poked out here, and still had that same shot. So, anyways. Yeah, the other side of the map is about to fall very quickly, and we need to get in there. So you guys have taken out some of their scarier tanks. You took out that Canoni Jagdpanzer, it's a tier 8 that you took out. I'm seeing a Revolurise over here, and a Lorraine. Oh, that Lorraine just got drilled by the RHM. You can finish him off, that would be huge. Yep, shoot through the destructible. There you go, nice job. That's 2 tier 8 finishers right there, that's good. Taking the hard-hitting guns out of the game is smart. Looks like that Rev's gonna die. Okay, you need to be relocating right now. Whenever you're in a pause or reloading or anything, you should always be looking at your minimap, right? So let's just zoom in here. Okay. They have a third of their team over here. This guy is just gonna flee, we're pretty sure. And this guy's gonna die very quickly. There's no point in even trying to get more damage on him. Your teammates will get there before you. So, okay, that being said, what happens next? After you win a flank, such as this one, the 890 line over here, you have 2 options. You can either continue to push through this way, or you can fall back and defend base. You have to pick one of the 2. It seems like they're much closer to your cap than you guys are to theirs. So just by distance, they could outcap you. So what I'd be trying to do right now is trying to defend my own cap, and I'd be trying to set up for it. So what your team needs in order to defend this cap is to try and have spotting and crossfire. So a highly mobile tank, such as the one you're in, should go out this way and post up here at A6. There's some bushes, and there's this ridge line here. Using the bushes and the ridge line, you can provide your team all the spotting they need in this area, and you can get unreturnable damage by using the bushes as concealment on your cap, okay? And by doing that, it enables any tank that's over here playing this, or even up on this hill here, any tanks that are here or in here will then have shots. They won't need to spot for themselves, and then you won't have this problem of these guys coming in through the middle, right? And it won't matter, there's very little out here. Like, these guys will spot anybody that's coming back into this direction. So you need to be running right now and heading towards your cap. Okay, so you're looking for the 13. I mean, you can, but it's a waste of time right now. He's just getting away. There's no point in doing that. Your defender is going to die pretty quick here. See, good. Half of your team has reacted and the other half hasn't correctly. So your team is split on defending or attacking. You have too many guys that are trying to chase down a single light tank, and that's not good. The macro positioning of your team right here is not good. You're doing smart play here, trying to fall back and get damage and defend your cap, though. You're going to have a hard time penning the E75 TS and the T29 yet. Oh, their AMX AC48 is in base. Yeah, they are all over your cap. So I see you running through the middle because you want to get urgent pressure on them before they can cap you out. You have plenty of time, though. They don't even have cap pressure on. You still have plenty of time to make that move, coming out wide here and using this ridge line. And anybody that dives on you towards that ridge line, these guys will then have shots on their sides. So I still think that that's the right place, heading that direction. Your TDs are rolling into the middle of this. Okay, so you're probably gonna, yeah. So this is not looking good here. Let me zoom in and make an explanation here. So by you and your team heading into this general field right here, like you're in this field, there is a little bit of a dip, but there's no good hard cover. There's no good soft cover. You're way exposed. Anybody that's over here will then have shots on you, right? But even worse, there could be any number of enemies in this area headed this way, okay? These guys aren't close enough to support. They're not going to be able to get damage. Anybody that runs into these woods over here or over here is going to get shots into this square this way, and you're going to be in a crossfire. A crossfire means that you're taking more damage than you're spitting out, which are bad trades, and you don't want to have these bad trades here. So more than likely, that's what's going to happen. Looking for the Hellcat, T29. You're trying to get, yeah, okay. That 1357's in the field to your left. I see you struggling to find outlines of tanks. One thing I want you to do is head over to my bush sniping guide and look at how I set up my settings to see through cover in sniper mode. That might help you. The other thing that you should do is, if you aren't sure where the over target marker begins and where the tank starts, you should wave your cursor up and down and not left to right. You should always go up and down here. If you have to lead a target or follow a target, that's one thing, but you should be up and down trying to find where he is. But I mean, he's clearly right there. That's probably just chalking it up to you can't see him very well. There you go, you found him. So you end up figuring it out. Still wasted time trying to find targets. Oh, you're way too pulled up here. You needed to switch targets or switch ammo. Oh good, you did both. Okay, so you have a lot of reloading to do and you are way exposed. Look how much of this tank, like, they can definitely see your hull. So one thing I want to point out is you should be falling back to bring this ridge line up. okay? You want this ridgeline to be like this. Until you're ready to fire, then you want to poke up just enough to get shots in accurately enough at the T-20. The T-29, they're both capping. It doesn't matter which one you shoot at. You want to take out one of the two if you can. Take out the one that you can penetrate. This was good ammunition changes, though. That was smart. I applaud you for that one, but you're exposing too much of your tank. So when you're in a one-on-one engagement or a two-on-one or any number of tanks on one, you want to minimize your profile as much as possible because everybody has dispersion values and you're just going to get spotted really easily. So you want to try and make yourself as small a target as possible. Backing down would help with that. So you're getting pegged to the left too. And you're still exposed, trying to get that shot in. I mean, it was a good reset still, but it's not going to matter. You took so much damage to get it, and you're still taking damage. So like I said, if you're on the A line, that one macro play would probably have resulted in a lot of good micro plays after it, right? You would have been able to do concealed firing at your cap. And like I said, those guys started coming in the middle, the SU-101, the AMX 1350. It didn't take much to get pressure on you guys from the middle. But it's going to cause you to lose the game, and your guys in the south were unfortunately out of position to help you with that. That was unfortunate. I see you looking at the track wheel there. You should be looking for the lower plate, maybe. Yeah, unfortunately, oh, there you go. There's a little more damage there. There's just not much you can do. Using your gun as a clip, probably not all that helpful either there either. You should be doing single shots and not double shots unless you're trying to get multiple resets. I guess the first double shot made sense because you were trying to switch ammo, so that's not horrible. So, alright. This is probably going to be chalked up to a loss. I think we can just fast forward here. Yeah, they're just looking for that T-34 100. There's not a whole lot left. Alright, Zym, I hope you enjoyed the replay review. I hope it helped a little bit. Yeah, it's just macro positioning. Otherwise, I think you're playing pretty good. So, good luck in your future matches, and I'll see you guys on the next Coach's Corner.